You're staring at your screen. The motivation you had on Monday morning has completely vanished, and you're wondering, is this really all there is? You feel stuck in a job that feels more like a prison than a calling. But what if there was a biblical secret that could turn your daily grind into a divine mission? Today, we're unpacking 4 powerful mindset shifts from Scripture that can help you find purpose in your work, even if you don't love your job. Because the real question isn't whether God cares about your work. The real question is, are you seeing your work the way God sees it? And if you're feeling stuck right now, stay with me. The 4th principle may be the one you need the most. The question many people ask is simple.
How hard should I work at a job I don't even enjoy?
It's a practical question, but it's also a spiritual one. The Bible's answer isn't laziness, and it isn't burnout. Instead, Scripture points us toward faithful, diligent, balanced work done for God's glory. And along the way, I'm going to show you one ancient Hebrew word that completely changed how I think about work. Let's look at the first principle. The first and most important mindset shift is to understand who you're really working for. The title on your business card, the name on the building, the boss who signs your paycheck, they're all secondary. The Bible is crystal clear that our ultimate audience and our true supervisor is God Himself. Colossians 3:23 and 24 says it perfectly. Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord, not for human masters, since you know that you will receive an inheritance from the Lord as a reward. It is the Lord Christ you are serving. And Ephesians 6:7 echoes this, telling us to serve wholeheartedly, as if you were serving the Lord, not people. This is a complete game changer. When you realize your work is an act of worship, every single task gets a new sense of meaning. Answering that boring email, cleaning that spill, running that report, dealing with a difficult customer, these aren't just mundane tasks anymore. They become opportunities to honor God. The Hebrew word for work, avodah, is the very same word used for worship and service. In the biblical mindset, there was no separation between the sacred and the secular. The real question isn't whether this is your dream job. The real question is,
how can I honor God right here, right now?
For someone who feels stuck in a dead-end job, this principle is liberating. Your role might be temporary, but the opportunity to serve God faithfully within it is there every single day. The biblical question shifts from,
Is this my dream job?
To,
how can I honor God right here, right now?
This could look like being relentlessly reliable, speaking with respect when others are gossiping, finishing a project with excellence, or treating your coworkers with fairness and kindness. Your job becomes a training ground for godliness. And this next principle explains why good intentions alone aren't enough. Now, shifting our mindset to working for God doesn't mean we just sit back and wait for blessings to fall into our laps. The Bible has a lot to say about effort, consistently praising diligence and warning against laziness. The book of Proverbs, in particular, sometimes reads like a divine business manual. Proverbs 14:23 says, all hard work brings a profit, but mere talk leads only to poverty. Another one, Proverbs 10:4 warns, lazy hands make for poverty, but diligent hands bring wealth. The Bible clearly connects being diligent with fruitfulness, stability, and providing for yourself and others. Laziness, on the other hand, is never treated as some harmless personality quirk. It's shown to be both practically and spiritually destructive. Proverbs doesn't have much sympathy for the
I work best under pressure
type, especially if that pressure comes from your own procrastination. So if you're feeling stagnant in your career, it's worth asking if passivity has crept in. Are you putting off important tasks? Are you giving the bare minimum effort? Are you avoiding new skills or just waiting for motivation to strike you like lightning? Biblical diligence is active. It means taking initiative, upgrading your skills, being on time, consistently applying yourself, and asking for feedback. It's about being a good steward of the time and talents God has given you. It's working hard to reach your goals, not just dreaming about them. Diligent people work to get out of their tough situations, while passive people often stay stuck wondering why they're in them. This isn't about earning your salvation through hard work. It's about your work being a reflection of a heart that loves God and wants to honor Him through excellence and real effort. Before we move on, ask yourself an honest question. Is your current lack of growth really because of your job? Or has a lack of diligence quietly become part of the problem? That's not a comfortable question, but growth usually starts where excuses end. But hard work by itself isn't the whole story. The second principle focused on what happens inside of you, your character, discipline, and effort. This third principle is about what happens through you, because biblical work isn't only about personal achievement. It's about becoming someone who can provide for others, serve others, and positively impact people around them. The third principle that shapes a biblical work ethic is personal responsibility. The New Testament is very direct. Believers who are able to work are expected to be responsible providers, not just for themselves, but also looking for ways to help others. This is where the rubber really meets the road. Paul's letter to the Thessalonians is incredibly blunt. In 2 Thessalonians 3:10, he says, "The one who is unwilling to work shall not eat." This wasn't a punishment. It was a principle for healthy community, discouraging freeloading and promoting personal accountability. But the purpose of work goes beyond just survival. Ephesians 4:28 takes it a whole step further, saying that anyone who has been stealing must steal no longer, but must work, doing something useful with their own hands, that they may have something to share with those in need. The goal of our work isn't just to get, it's to have something to give. That's a cornerstone of Christian maturity and a powerful witness. For someone feeling stuck and powerless in their job, this message is actually incredibly empowering. You may not control the economy, your boss's mood, or when the next promotion comes, but you absolutely can control your effort, your character, and your next faithful step. So what does this look like in practice? It means taking ownership. It means updating your resume, learning a new skill on the side, networking, managing your budget wisely, and above all, being faithful in the responsibilities that you have right now. The Bible's version of manifesting is a lot less trendy and a lot more concrete. Get up, do the work, and don't call procrastination a personality type. Taking responsibility is about stewarding your life well for God's glory and the good of other people. And this final principle may surprise people who think Christianity only teaches harder work. So far, we talked about working for God, being diligent, and taking responsibility. Sounds like a recipe for becoming a workaholic, right? But that's where the final crucial principle comes in: balance. The Bible encourages hard work, but it absolutely does not endorse burnout, greed, or anxious striving. Hard work is good, but work is not God. The teacher in Ecclesiastes says that finding satisfaction in our work and enjoying what we have is a gift from God. And Psalm 127:2 offers a beautiful, sharp warning against workaholism. In vain you rise early and stay up late, toiling for food to eat, for he grants sleep to those he loves. This verse isn't criticizing any early start. It's a critique of the anxiety that drives it. It's about the person whose striving is rooted in fear and self-reliance. The person who believes that if they stop for even a second, it will all fall apart. God invites us into a rhythm of work and rest. He himself rested on the seventh day of creation, not because he was tired, but to set a pattern for us. Rest is not a sign of laziness, it's an act of faith. It's a declaration that our trust is in God's provision, not our own frantic efforts. It protects us from burnout and keeps our work from becoming an idol. If your idea of a Sabbath is just answering emails with one eye open, that's not rest. That's spiritual window shading. For the person feeling stuck, the solution might not just be to work harder. It might be to work hard during work time and then to truly rest without guilt. Sometimes the problem isn't a lack of effort, but chronic burnout from anxiety or perfectionism. A biblical balance means pouring your heart into your work for the Lord and then peacefully entrusting the results to Him while you wait. So, how do we put all this together? We work for God, we practice diligence, we take responsibility, and we find a holy balance with rest. It's not about working harder or softer. It's about working with a transformed heart. If this was helpful, I'd encourage you to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. And I would love to hear from you in the comments. What is one practical step you can take this week to apply one of these principles to your job? Sharing your journey can encourage so many others. So, how hard should you work? Hard enough to be faithful, but not so hard that work becomes your God. Work matters, but your identity is bigger than your job title. Your value is bigger than your paycheck, and your purpose is bigger than your career. The goal isn't simply getting promoted. The goal is becoming the kind of person who one day hears, "Well done, good and faithful servant." And if you're looking for practical ways to build a life that is both successful and meaningful, check out the Life Lessons playlist on your screen right now. It breaks down the habits, principles, and strategies that help you grow without burning out. My name is Stephen Kofer. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.